We left off on the beginning, on the bottom of Nun Hey, the Maharal, page Nun Hey, Perk Sheni, Perk Beis, second column. Nun Vav. Quoted Medrash. V'nefesh ki sechto, shnei dvarim b'yamino shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The two things in God's Kavayoch, his right hand, and two in his left. HaTorah v'tzedakah b'yamino. Torah and tzedakah is Hashem does with his right hand, Kavayoch. T'chsiv mimino eish dos lomo. That Torah, that's eish dos lomo. The law which it was given in fire. V'tzedakah t'chsiv tzedek molo yamincho. Uyiminecho. V'nefesh v'mishpot, but the soul and judgment b'smolo shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'nefesh t'chsiv kivyotcho nefesh kol choy. Since it's referred to yotcho, not yimintcho. Hamish t'chsiv v'techaz b'mishpat yodi. God takes hold with his hand. Ubneikach hanefesh shebo ha'uno b'yodo shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Therefore, the soul which is affected by Ono is in the hand of Hashem. So when you touch the soul, what's closest to Hashem? The physicality is the soul of the person. Vodish l'choldas dovazeh mimash omar achrov omar avo gimel im haparkut inyan elu gimel dvorim mashen hapargud ninal v'fneim. The pargud is the spiritual partition. It's not sealed l'fi shem b'midas hadin, because these people are judged with the attribute of justice. V'chol asher hu b'midas hadin hapargud ninal b'fnei hadin. Ki eich yeh hapargud ninal b'fnei dover shadin mechayv also. Something which is so demanding that it has to be judged. Nothing could block that. Ubedov zeh lo shach nilo b'din klal ki hadin hu l'fnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Kimo shetucha lohovin men advar shenizbar b'nesiv hadin ki hamishul lokimhu. He says something which justice-wise justice has to be met. Nothing could quell justice. I mean, we have midas arachim, but it means if there's midas adin, the midas has to speak its case. Wait. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about this. Has relevance right now, right? There's a famous Orach Chaim HaKadosh by Kriyas Yamsuf. It says Moshe Rabbeinu is being mispaler. So Hashem says, tell them to travel into the sea. So Rashi says, Chazal, now's not the time to pray. So Orach Chaim HaKadosh says, when else do you pray? You pray when you have a problem. I mean, here we're caught between the sea and the Egyptian army. What is he saying to Moshe? Now's not the time to pray. Don't you see? My children are in this terrible situation. Just travel into the sea. Remember what he says, Alan will tell you what the Orach Chaim HaKadosh says. So, see, he says, okay. Like Alan writes a prescription, just give it to the pharmacist. Okay. Let's give him the highlights. So the Orach Chaim HaKadosh says, the Jews complained, they said, I mean, after all they said is, he brought us here to die, to be buried, what, they lack graves in Egypt. It activated such a level of prosecution that the Midas HaRachmi had no relevance any longer. Hashem could not apply the Midas HaRachmi. The Jews had to demonstrate a level of dedication, and they needed a schus that the Midas HaDin should be withdrawn. Okay? What would that be? Travel straight into the sea. Travel in the sea, you drown. You have such a level of faith that you're even willing to go through fire, because Hashem says that's what you have to do. That's the only thing that could quell the Midas HaDin. Because what is the claim? After all you saw, how do you believe that you're going to die?
Is this bitachon or imunah?
Bitachon. Right? Trust, faith. So by traveling, that will demonstrate they do have the faith. So the basis for the prosecution is no longer there. Now you're worthy of Midas HaRachmi. Right? Once din is in fact, unless something else causes that the din should not be applied, the Midas din keeps going. So therefore, therefore Rosh Hashanah, there's a prosecution. Once Sutton prosecutes, even a person has a flawed record, if Hashem does not allow Sutton to prosecute, Midas Adin is not in effect. Midas Adin is only when the record is being prosecuted. Once Hashem allows Sutton to prosecute, it's serious business. So we have to have something to counter the prosecution. But if you have nothing to counter the prosecution, it goes the full 9 yards. So what quells the prosecution? The schus of the Akedah. That's how overwhelming it is. Therefore, the case is whatever way he pleads the case or he makes the case, it's not sufficient to prosecute us. No, the prosecutor has a weak case. That weakens his case. Right? Yep. In Parshas Azinu, over there, Moshe Rabbeinu says, if a person shoots an arrow, you cannot retrieve the arrow. Once it's in flight, it's gone. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu, even when Midas Adin is in effect, he can actually withdraw it. Even though it's been launched. Okay? But when is that? If there's no basis any longer, right? So if, let's say, they have a schus in the midst, right? It says, we have a new Balkari on the scene now. Right? It says, the water was a wall to the right and to the left. So the word choma is written with the vav deleted. Chema. That the angels were prosecuting as we're walking through the walls of water. They say, Elo of the Evarus of Elo deserve. Water Jews deserve to live in more than the Egyptians. We were pagans, we were this, we were that. Right? We made it through. But there was chema, there was wrath. The wrath is the prosecution. To be continued. That Hashem allowed it to split was rachmi. It was Midas Rachmi. No. They don't coexist. No. One is withdrawn. There was a process. Then it was withdrawn. No, that's Rachmin. No. They went in. There was Rachmin. That's why it split. And then in the midst, this prosecution.
Why was there prosecution?
Because they said the Jews are no better than the Egyptians. But why then? Why not before? So good. You mean the din should be Rach? No, the Rachmin is because they should demonstrate. Good. See, take a look at the Meshech Chochmah. Meir Simcha says that initially there was a unity among them. When they went into the sea, they went in 12. They went into groups. You know, I'm better than you. No. So over there, each one felt the whole idea is the unity of Klal Yisrael. Right? That's the whole Meir Simcha has a whole long thing in this. By Achav, where they were pagans, they would go to war. They would have no casualties. David HaMelech, when they went to war, they had casualties. Achav, so he says, because by David they had Lashon Hara. So that's a lack of unity. By Achav, they were unified because what's his name? Obadja, he hit 100 Nevi'im, 2 caves, and people participated, even fed them. Even though it was contrary to the will of Achav. Achav was a pagan, he was a Russia. But the word never got out. So that shows the Achdus, the Avos Yisrael. That Achdus didn't allow any level of prosecution. There were no casualties. By David, there was Dalturia. It says they spoke Lashon Hara about what he spoke Lashon Hara. Evident that's a lack of Avos Yisrael. Therefore, there was a basis for the prosecution. That's the difference. So because when they went in, I'm better than you, you're better than I. Therefore, it's not appropriate. We should go on the same road, the same path. That broke the unity of Klal Yisrael. Therefore, now they deserve to be prosecuted. You read the Gemara. When they jumped in, they started to stone them. Who are you to go in? When Yom jumped in, Judah says, "What are Yarsonim? What are you going in for? We should have gone in first."
That doesn't have any.
It's not metaphor. It's metaphor. No. It has nothing to do with idolatry. No. So Rabbi has, again, the Gemara says, "Ain't tzibur mes." God will not destroy Klal Yisrael, but a tzibur is only when there's unity. So until they went in, they were unified. So since if there's a tzibur, there's a special divine protection on the tzibur. The moment they divided, they no longer tzibur. So once you lose that profile of tzibur, now you can be prosecuted.
But the prosecution was that they are.
Yeah, because until then, even though there's that level, but we have principle ain't tzibur mes. So with all the prosecution, Hashem says, I don't want to hear about it. Because they're at tzibur. You can't prosecute at tzibur. But once they lost that profile of tzibur, now the prosecution. It's the same prosecution who tried it before. Before it wasn't admitted in court, now it's being admitted.
So how do we say that they're even Moladora when we had to slaughter the lamb and put that shows that we believed in Hashem. That shows that we were dedicated to Hashem.
No. That qualified us to bring the Korban Pesach, but you still have the old record. If you don't do sufficient tshuva, there's a basis for, regardless what we're holding today. Okay, let's see the Mishnah Berurah.